Welcome to the final video about SQL. This video will be very brief and is going to just simply comment on the different factors we might consider when choosing a flavor of SQL database. Throughout the previous videos, we've been using SQLite, which is, as the name suggests, a lightweight and simple version of a SQL database. Unlike other SQL databases, the SQLite database is stored in a single portable, easily portable file on your disk. Our database that we've been using throughout this example is stored in this testdb.sqlite file. I can't open it since it's not a simple text file, but I could easily download it onto my personal computer and work with it after creating a connection if I wanted to. In this sense, it's very portable. It's easy for me to migrate the database from one machine to another. This is a major advantage of the SQLite database. But SQLite is not very useful for applications where we're working with more than a few gigabytes of data. The infrastructure it provides simply isn't robust enough for working with large data sets. For more heavy-duty applications, we would want to turn to other flavors of SQL, such as PostgreSQL, or pSQL, or MySQL. There are still other versions of SQL out there, or flavors of SQL out there. IBM has a flavor of SQL that I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's maybe called something like DB2 or something like that. IBM DB2. Microsoft has Microsoft SQL Server. There's MySQL. There's PostgreSQL. There are many SQL products out there. Sometimes your decision will be simply something you inherit from whatever organization or company you're working with. They maybe made some decision long ago and now have a lot of infrastructure built up around a particular flavor of SQL that's not likely to change soon. Sometimes you'll have the option of deciding for yourself. Again, that decision might be influenced by external factors. For instance, the Google Cloud Platform and Amazon Web Services offer kind of plug-and-play, ready-to-use MySQL solutions or platforms. Meanwhile, other flavors have other advantages. For instance, Postgres, or pSQL, which I believe is an Apache product, is free and open source for anyone to use, which makes it very popular. But other than SQLite, most any flavor of SQL will be fully featured and be capable of handling large data sets robustly and in high-performance situations. So the most major distinction between databases is definitely, or flavors of SQL, is definitely between SQLite, which is useful for quick install, lightweight database that's highly portable, and all the other flavors of SQL, which are kind of more geared towards heavy-duty applications. Usually that will be in place for a while, so they don't need to be migrated with any high frequency. And of course, often these decisions are made for us or are highly influenced by external external factors like the services offered by the vendors that we plan to use for our product or application. That wraps up the lectures on SQL. As I mentioned in the previous video, next week we'll be talking about SQL alchemy and the object relation mapping software, which will let us integrate databases, and in our case SQL databases, very seamlessly into a Python application.